Hey everybody, welcome in, it's Nova here. We are here with another Frostpunk early game guide and walkthrough. This one is going to focus on the last autumn scenario. You'll notice things are very different than a normal scenario in Frostpunk in that you don't start with the generator. In this scenario, you are building it instead. So that'll be fun. Because of that, there are very different dynamics at work here. First of which is the temperature. You don't have to deal with the cold. Well, for now. Not for a significant chunk of the game. And you've got another meter down here. Instead of hope, it is motivation. Your motivation is going to be influenced throughout this game. You need to get it up as early as you can and keep it up. One of the easiest ways to do that, there's a couple ways, I'll be showing you guys how to do this, is by passing the hearty meals law in the law book. This basically lets you make, as the name implies, hearty meals. It takes more raw food to make them, but they're more nutritious, and your people will be happier eating them. This will increase your group's motivation. And so the first thing I like to do here is eliminate the roads around the generator ring. It actually provides a bit of extra early game wood doing this. And then get that first workshop built as fast as you can. Because unlike in the other scenarios, you cannot employ your engineers in the gathering areas. So you need to employ them in the normal places that you can employ engineers, the tech tree and the medical facilities. So, to get the resources going, you're going to need the docks, because there are docks over here. There's areas where you can build those. We're also going to need some housing, of course. So you want to build that right away. You start with 90 people. So you want to get everybody housed before things get too late. Or, just like in the other scenarios, they will get sick overnight. And then you'll run into various camp life scenarios. We'll go over some of the more important ones later as they emerge. Alright, everybody's got a place to sleep, so we are good. And then once the docks is done researching, you'll want to get that down right away, as fast as you can get it down. And then now that the law book is refreshed, this is a key thing for motivation, a key source that can really help you get it up early and help reduce the losses later, is the chapel.
New company rules are in place.
Of course, being a religious facility, reminds people of their higher purpose. Alright, so now the docks has been researched. There are technically 4 slots available. You could make one for wood, one for coal, one for steel, and then there's the fishing harbor that you can use as your food source. Indignant engineer! Yeah, let's put him in an engineer's tent. Alright. Let's get that docks going. Come on, guys. Hurry up. Alright, then select wood. And then once you've done that, this prompt comes up for the telegraph station. This is how you can hire more people and request more steam cores. I'm not going to build it yet, though, because I would like to get my resources established first. And so once you've done that, once you've got the docks established, head into Tier 1.
The shift's over.
You gotta get the tech pretty fast. So I'm going to build the other 2 workshops for my other 10 engineers that are still unemployed. Alright, the law book. Back in. And you'll want to get evening service for the chapel as well. This is a secondary ability that you can activate within it if you are having trouble with your motivation. You can bring it up.
Listen,
that way.
everybody. New regulations.
Okay. Yeah, once we get the telegraph station, though, things will ramp up very quickly. And they will escalate. But I'm going to help you guys out with getting through this part. And then this is the main event of the scenario. The camp is gloomy, nothing for us to do here but work. Motivation will fall each morning throughout the entire rest of the scenario. So that's why I was talking about motivation. And getting it up and keeping it up for as long as you can. It's very, very important. So I'm gonna get ready to make the chapels. Because if your people are living within range of a chapel, their motivation will fall slower. So it's very, very nice. And I've got a pretty specific way that I set up my camp, so I apologize if it kind of looks funny. But basically what I was just doing is I was measuring, because you can see the chapel's range when you're about to place it, and what buildings it will cover. If you build your base like I did, you can get 3 tents out and then put the chapel down to maximize how many houses it reaches. Okay, now that we've got level 1 tech, you'll want to go for the reloading station. These take steam cores to function, but they greatly increase the efficiency of your work areas at the docks. They harvest resources far faster than normal, which of course is going to be critical. Alright, we are doing well. You do have to re-staff it, it's kind of goofy. I'm not really sure why, but it is what it is. Alright, now that we've got the reloading station, we can start looking at food, because we do still have time before we have to build the telegraph station. If you look down here in the lower left corner, you have 5 days, well, a couple weeks from the start of the game, rather, to build these main structures. You have the choice between the fishing harbor and the foragers camp, but the foragers camp you have to keep sending your dudes around when the food source runs out, whereas the fishing harbor is a permanent source. Alright, now that the steel piles are down, we can get the basic docks going for steel. You can actually set up the reloading station in advance, which is pretty sweet. And they're skeptic. Only fools doubt it, guys. Alright, the next law in the law book. You can kind of go wherever the heck you want from here, but if you go for the bathhouse, you don't actually need this. I just dismantled the building because it takes coal to run this. Alright, let's get the guys in there. Steel! Alright. Steel, let's go. Let's get steel production. Now let's just get rid of it. Alright, fishing harbor. Let's get that going. Good stuff. Let's get our food source, because now our people are getting hungry. We do have starting food, but of course that's not going to last. We need a more permanent source. Let's go ahead and build the cookhouse while we're at it. And we can also get some more research in. We're gonna go for tier 2 right away because I want to get that finer mesh upgrade. Alright, the law book. And this is why we had to pass the bathhouse. You can pass another law called comfortable quarters. Your motivation will rise, but you need to build more housing for your folks. Alright, hearty meals. Get cooking. Get cooking, boys. Alright, let's go for tier 2. Alright, we are doing well so far. Let's go ahead and build the last roadway and get the second chapel down because not all of our people are covered. For this part, you want to go the 4th tent before you build, because then you'll notice that everybody is covered. And then we are all set with the chapels for the remaining part of the game. We do not need to build anymore. Now build some extra roadways because we are definitely going to need them. Alright, finer mesh. We don't have enough wood yet. Now we do. Let's get that going. And then once we get this established, we'll go ahead and build the telegraph station.
The shift's over. Time to grab a
Oh yeah, before we do that, guys, check this out. There is 4,000 coal sitting down here. Ripe for the picking. You don't actually need a harbor for coal at all. You can just use this. You can use this massive coal source that's down here. I'll let the road build first. There we go. Yeah, just throw a gathering post down there and your guys will grab all the coal that you need for almost the entire game. It's pretty crazy. If not the entire game, depending on how fast you complete it. Alright, medical care. Need to get that going as well.
rules and regulations.
Yep, our motivation is going up. Good stuff. Alright, get in there.
Get on up. Work's not gonna wait.
We are doing pretty good. Alright, now that we've got finer mesh, we're going to head into this tab that is new and unique to this scenario called Generator Construction. We're going to need a lot of different stuff from this area to successfully complete this mission. First of which is the profiles manufacture. Because we are ready to begin that phase, we're going to build the telegraph station at this time. And it is active. We can request supplies from London between workers, engineers, and steam cores. You'll notice here that they have a cost. We have a logistical limit assigned to our construction site, so we cannot order, like, everything all the time. The shipments also take 24 hours to arrive, so bear that in mind. So what I'm going to do for the first shipment is get a couple of steam cores. We will need lots of those. We don't need any additional workers yet, because I want to get my resources piled up a little. And then each of these structures, the profiles manufacturer, the foundry, and the machine shop, all have an upgrade to reduce the cost of the piece of the generator that they produce and the time required to make them. I strongly advise you make all three and research all three of those techs. Now you'll notice right here, sorry I kind of skipped over it, we have a shaft structure that we need to make. That is the very basic foundation of our generator. Alright, care house.
Hear me. New rules.
Let's get that. Yeah, let's get that down. Alright. And we got a ship icon here that tells us how long it is and what they're bringing. Oh, look at that! If you get your motivation high enough, your people's work efficiency in all workplaces will rise by 30%, which is pretty significant. That's likely between the hearty meals, the chapel, and the comfortable quarters, among other things. Now, before we get too far along, I'm going to build a couple of resource depots so that we can stockpile some more stuff. And now you'll notice that first quest is replaced by a timer down here. There are 4 different milestones that we must reach before the end of this game. If you miss more than one of these, the game fails, and you are fired. So, don't let that happen. Just don't. Alright, we're good on the tech tree for now. Let's focus on resources. Alright, coal, wood, and steel. Alright, transport has arrived with 2 extra steam cores. Handy. Now, once you go down the medical care tree, you've got different options now. You have the option to order prosthetic limbs from London to put your amputees back to work, or you can send them home to London. I like to get the prosthetic shipments because, honestly, that's just easier than than having to send people home, like, and bring more people back. Like, that's just annoying. And then using this timer down here, you can also see how far ahead of or behind schedule you are. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up the 8 structural profiles that we need in our profiles manufacturer. At this time, I'm going to rebuild that ring of roads that was around the generator at the beginning of the game. And we are going to order some more workers at this time as well. And let's get some housing down in advance before they arrive.
Come on, get moving. Time to work.
Alright. Yeah, let's get some housing down. While we are waiting for them. Okay. Oop. Sorry about that. And then you will occasionally get sacks of mail posted to the crew. You have a couple options when you're doing this. You can censor it, you can not censor it. It's kind of your call. Do whatever you want with that. Okay. And then once those extra workers arrive, we will be able to get busy on the generator. Alright, let's get back into the tech tree now that we've got some resources built up. Let's go for level 3 because we're going to need the infirmary coming up. So we're going to go ahead and get that established before things get too crazy. I wasn't researching the tech right away because I wanted to make sure that we were good with the generator construction and get enough housing for our coming workforce. Alright, let's plunk them in. And get busy. Come on, boys. In you go.
Time to get busy.
Alright. And now this is the crux of the problem with this scenario. This is how your people get sick, injured, and die. Is working on the generator. There are strange fumes wafting from the shaft. The safety level of all workplaces at the construction site will be monitored. The lower it is, the more people will get sick. If it's very low, they might get injured or die. So now you're in a dilemma here of balancing workplace safety. And so now the law book has a labor side. There's a bunch of different things that you can do here. I would recommend going for 2 shifts right away. And here's why. It's because you can have your workplaces working around the clock, 24/7. It's very handy to be able to do that. Because then you can get more done in less time. Because your workplaces are constantly active. However, you do need more manpower. Well, not necessarily.
New rules are in place.
To be the most efficient, you need more manpower. But you technically don't. You could go this entire thing without ever putting more people in there, but it does help. Alright, so now that we've got the structural profiles done, we can plant this guy down there. We're gonna hold off for a second, though. We are 3 days ahead of schedule, so we are okay. We need to get our medical care established first.
Save up. Stow your tools.
And to staff that infirmary, we will need some engineers, so I'm going to order some. And you can even apply that 2 shifts to your tech research, which is going to be immense. It's going to be very, very powerful. And I really like the steam reloading station. It requires an additional steam core, but increases your dock's gathering efficiency even more. This is especially important for steel because we are going to need way more steel than we will need wood throughout this game. So I'm going to go ahead and plant one of those, and you can just set it right on top, and it will upgrade. Much like you can with the housing buildings in other scenarios. Now, look here, we've only got a day to pass a safety law. So we definitely should pass something before we get screwed. Once you do this, you get a big motivation boost. And you'll notice that now we have an option here for safety procedures, the law I just picked. Your workplace safety rises by 1 level, but they are 25% less efficient. That can definitely be an issue. But we're going to go ahead and send them in.
Get some rest, people.
And then, much like the temperature gauge in prior scenarios, you can look here. The temperature gauge is still up there, but now with work safety, it goes from safe to unhealthy to harmful to dangerous to deadly. From most safe to least safe. Alright. So now we've got our engineers stocked. Let's hop back into research and get ahead of the game. The next thing we are going to need is the Steam Exchangers. So we're going to get the machine shop next as our next structure. Head back into the law book. If you go for the shift work coordination, you need 25% less people to run a 24-hour shift area, which is pretty sweet. Alright, let's get that down and immediately set it to 24 hours. And surprisingly, this does not affect your discontent at all, versus if you picked extended shifts, it would. It's kind of weird, but I guess they kind of adjust, like go day shift, night shift, that kind of thing, but... And then here's another thing that impacts the work safety. Toxic gases venting from the shaft. People will get sick, and the toxicity level changes all the time. It changes daily. And that, of course, affects your safety. Now it is dangerous. I'm going to go ahead and enact safety procedures to buy myself a little bit more time. To mitigate the gases, you can pick the ventilation plants. I would strongly advise that you do this. This will definitely make it a lot easier. And another camp life. Bad omen. Bad news and hushed voices, and owls atop the scaffolding. Oh, yay! You can either, let's just shoo it away. We need to keep working, because we got deadlines to meet. We got stuff to do, people. A taste of home. Well-off relative sending with a large parcel full of treats. Let's confiscate it. Lots of rations. We need those. Alright. And we need a steam core for the ventilation plant. But here's the problem. We don't have any of those. I'm gonna go ahead and order some. While we're waiting, though, I'm going to get an upgrade to increase the efficiency of their fans. Make it so they use less coal to operate, which is cool. Yep, we got our guys still working here. We can also introduce a new law. We don't have a lot of options for the labor book yet. We will get to that later. I would like to recommend after-hours equipment maintenance to reduce the chance of workplace accidents if you happen to get into the dangerous category. Alright. Now the gas level is going to rise, so I am actually going to turn the facility off and close it. Because now, even with safety procedures, the workplace is dangerous. So I'm going to turn it off for now, so that my people stay safe. Alright, with the machine shop done, there is a safety improvements upgrade in the way before the efficiency upgrade. Alright, ventilation plant. I'm actually going to turn this guy off right away. I'm not going to have my workers go back in just yet. Alright, do we need anything else? Not particularly. Oh, and there are cocaine pills that you can give your people to increase their motivation, but I would recommend not doing that because that leads to all sorts of other problems, like addiction. Yeah, so we don't need anything else just yet. Let's keep going with tech, go to tier 4, so we can get the redesigned templates. And we are 2 days ahead of schedule, so we are okay to wait for the toxic gas concentrations to come down before we put the guys back to work. And the reason we're going for all the tech this early is because it's very handy to get your resources stockpiled and to build stuff in advance. Speaking of building stuff in advance, I'll show you guys a trick. If you go down here to the generator construction overview, you can see all 4 phases, how much they cost, as well as the total. So you can use that to guide you. I honestly didn't even know that was a thing. Until after I played this scenario a good number of times. Now we don't need the foundry yet, but we're gonna go ahead and get the tech researched for it. Alright. I am going to order some additional personnel because we are going to need a lot of workers. But perhaps we should get a few prosthetic limbs just to have them on hand. And you can order the prosthetic limbs in advance ahead of workplace accidents and workplace events so that you can just have them on hand. Alright, innovative process. Same thing as redesigned templates, reduces the cost.
Quitting time. Take a breather.
Alright, once the gas concentration falls, we're going to go ahead and send them back in to construction because we are only about a day ahead of schedule now. Yeah, let's go for high flow filters and... Oh, I have 2 for wood? Ah, I misclicked earlier because I'm like, why do I have so much wood? That doesn't make any sense. That's a goof. Oh no, what? Harbingers of doom! People across the whole camp leap to their feet. Angry screeches, dozens of birds. Motivation will fall even more. So now you guys can see that this is the reason why I was pushing to get your motivation up high and early. Because eventually you will not be able to mitigate the losses. Alright, now it is safer. Let's go ahead and turn on the ventilation plant. And you can see that now our workplace is unhealthy. So we have a relatively low risk of people getting sick. Which is good. Chugging along nicely. And we got more workers inbound. Gonna go ahead and quick get some housing down for them. Within range of the chapels, of course, so that they can have some good housing. And keep their motivation up. Ooh, border photography, shameless debauchery. Confiscate the picture. Alright, we've got more workers. Let's toss them in. Get busy, boys. Oh. What's this? An explosion! Underground. There is an accident. And this is why you gotta get your work safety up. To reduce the losses and effect of these events. There are a few of these that happen throughout the scenario. Because our workplace was unhealthy, we are able to send a rescue team. You do have the option to keep working, but your trapped workers will die and your motivation will fall. Basically what happened here is the explosion in the foundations caused a tunnel collapse. If your workplace is any less safe than unhealthy, you do not have the option to send in a rescue team. You will have to deal with a lot of injuries instead.
Shift's over. Stow your tools.
Alright, well, we're doing good there. But now we've got a problem. Because we had that accident, people are on strike. We've got an issue here. This is another problem that you will face throughout the scenario, is dealing with strikes. How are you going to deal with them? There are plenty of different ways that you can do this. The game will give you a few options that workers want. You can pick one of these. If you pick extra rations, there might be escalated demands. It kind of depends. You can make your call on what you want to do. You can do the public house. That's actually the best option, because then that's basically a bar. So now at this point, you have to lean on the workers or the engineers to get the job done. You can pick either. Either side works equally well. Engineers will generally grant you greater safety and keep your motivation up. The workers will be able to work more efficiently, and there is also another spot here where you can increase your work efficiency at cost of safety. That's not really an issue if you've got enough ventilation plants around the generator site. You could, like I said, you can go with either. I like to go with engineers because they have safety. They have some safety features that can make it a little bit easier to mitigate the safety problem that plagues this scenario. Alright, and we are going to need some extra engineers to staff it, though. So once we are able to order another 10 engineers, we will be doing that. Okay. Let's get some extra housing down in place, though. But remember, we've also got to do the public house. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot of motivation from that if we don't. Yep, that's a pretty sharp motivation drop, as you can see. Alright, now we've got 2 more areas that we can now build. The pressure valves and the tower pumps. I do apologize for skipping past that thing there. I'll put it back on screen for a few seconds so you guys can see what that was about. But now we've got 2 more parts that we need to make. The pressure valves, so we're going to queue up that right away. For 10 structural profiles, we also need 10 steam exchangers for the tower pumps. So we're going to go ahead and get those built. What's going on here? And you'll occasionally get news from London about other things going on. Alright. In that incident, there was another generator site that had construction problems, so the project was scrapped. Alright, now we can reassign. Send them back in. I'm also going to grab 5 extra workers when I can, because I'll need those guys for the public house. As far as tech, we are doing pretty good on tech. You don't really need too much after this point. You can kind of go from here, based on where the need is. We're going to go ahead and get the advanced fishing harbor just because it will increase our food production. Alright. So we've got those 2 down. We're going to go ahead and get them placed and assigned to 24-hour construction. And now we can upgrade our fishing harbor, which is good because we're going to need a lot more food. This is another upgrade under resources. It is optional. You don't really need it, but it can help. You can get better reloading station efficiency, so we're actually going to go ahead and grab it. Alright, how are we doing? About 2 days ahead of schedule. Now let's go ahead and get them ordered. Now, because it's going to be expired in less than 24 hours, I am going to temporarily yank engineers out of the workshops just to get it staffed. Alright, boys, hop in. We've got stuff. Alright. Good. We can actually turn off safety procedures because we are at the harmful level. People are going to get sick more often, but we need to get this done quickly. We need to stay as far ahead of schedule as we can. Oh, factory inspector, it is a bonus. Shipment of fine tobacco, a rare delight. Great idea! Share it with everybody! Fine shipment of tobacco. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and get the public house opened because we promised that. If you don't fulfill promises in this scenario, you lose a lot of motivation. So try to avoid that if you can. Yeah, let's get another tent down. Alright, so those guys are done. Head into the tower pumps. We gotta get going right away. Now we can staff the public house. Oh, there's no street there? Oh, no, there isn't. Let's build some more roadways because we're probably gonna need more people. Okay. Let's get them up. Okay. Yeah, we're doing good. Here's a work safety concern. People are reporting rumbling sounds and tremors. They're getting dizzy from toxic fumes coming from the shaft. There is safety equipment that you can construct for rescuers and the shaft crew. It'll also protect workers from the fumes, improving safety. You'll need 5 steam exchangers to do this. The game does give you an option to remind you when you have enough resources. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna yank those guys out. Well, I'll put the rest of them back in. But to be able to make those, so then we can improve the work safety. And then the prompt will come up again. So you can do that, and your workplace safety will rise by a level, which is pretty cool. Before things get too far, I'm going to go ahead and get the ventilation plant coupling as a backup in case I need it. Factory inspectorate, supervision. Inefficiency, direct supervision. I'll think about it. And now, with the law book, you've got some new stuff. You've got some more options for stuff. We're gonna go ahead and pass overseers. We will need additional engineers to staff the overseer stations, but they will help with workplace efficiency. Alright, let's grab a few extra engineers so that we can staff those. Okay. Ventilation plant coupling. We are out of steam cores, but that is okay. we'll get some more on the next shipment. Alright, boys. You're doing good. We are doing excellent here. Oh, no! No! And see, this is why the game warned us. Is so that we can make the safety equipment to mitigate the accident. A cave-in exposed the underground heat source. You always have the option to seal off the source, but here's the problem. If you pick this option, this will affect the end of the game. Well, canonically it will. The generator won't be able to power more than a few heat zones. Fewer people will be able to be covered by this in the post-game cinematic. You can leave the source open. All workers underground will die. Discontent and strike risk will rise. The generator will have normal power though. But because we made the safety equipment, we can pick this option. Many workers will be gravely injured. We definitely need that. The evacuation was successful. They're pretty seriously injured. We've got some amputees now. Thankfully, we ordered those prostheses earlier. Alright, so while we're here, we're going to go into the overview. We still need quite a number of structural profiles. You can see looking ahead that we need 50 for the heart of the generator. So we're going to go ahead and queue it up. We're just going to set it up in the queue. Amputees, what happened? Oh yeah, maimed by a machine. Malfunctioning. Workplace safety is dangerous. Yep, you definitely need to keep an eye on this. Perfect example. I can showcase that. So I'll need to get some more prosthetic limbs in the next shipment. But now, because of the prosthetic shipments, we are back in business. We're still doing pretty good. Alright, let's get him staffed. Alright. Telegraph station. We need lots of prosthetics to get people back to work. Let's keep getting them queued. Okay. Oh, they are on strike. How are we gonna negotiate this? Extra rations? Nope. Alright, so that didn't work. Otherwise the strike will continue. Yeah, let's just do that. But now we've got an issue. We are well ahead of schedule though, so we do have time to work on this. End of the world! Yeah, we need to censor that. Can't have that happening now, can we? Yeah, let's head up the law book. Let's make the security outposts.
Attention, regulations change. The shift is over. Please stow your tools.
Alright. Yeah, let's go ahead and order the prosthetics and get the second ventilation plant. Alright, we've got this queued up, so we could, once the gas level comes down, get these built while we're waiting to get work safety up, so that we can at least be prepared. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Because then at least we can be getting something done in the meantime. And the gas level is going to come down another level, so we'll be looking pretty good. Let's look ahead again. We also need 25 steel composites, which are made in the factory. So let's go ahead and set those up. And get those built. Alright, we are here with the steam cores. Let's get the second ventilation plant down. We're gonna turn it off though, because we don't necessarily need both active all the time. Alright. We're pretty much set on wood for the rest of the game, so I'm gonna yank those guys out. I'm gonna leave them in the reloading station though, so that they can pick up what's left as we use it. Alright, let's get this turned on. Back to work, boys! Alright, let's get busy. Stolen chemicals! Benzol flammable solvent was stolen from the stores. Look for it in the quarters. Keep warm at night. Fashion firebombs! Do it. You're not making firebombs here. And if you go with the engineers, there's another option. There's a couple options. It's actually kind of fun. You can go with strike busting, so you can get rid of strikes by basically threatening them. Alright, so that's milestone level 2. We are good. Now we gotta build the heart of the generator. This is now the core. Because we prepared by pre-building the steel composites, we can get it down right away. We can also build the support frames. Get them all in the 24-hour routine. Let's get busy. Site 120. Well, thanks. Glad to hear it. We're making good time. Weather and crop failures prompted an exodus. Profiteering by oppositional politicians. Lost contact with Site 120. In order to check up on the other sites, you need to send out foragers, but you don't really have time to do that. I mean, you do, if you want. You can order some extra workers to send out and do it, but it's not really necessary, though. Oh, and now you'll notice our huge coal piles are now fully depleted. So we're gonna go ahead and use some wood in the tech tree to research just something, so that the workers can pick up the rest of the wood. Alright, the gas concentration is low. So we're going to go ahead and turn the ventilation plant off, because we don't need it to keep safety above dangerous yet. Let's upgrade the resource depots. Yeah, let's just kind of do it randomly. So this is a fun thing that you can do with the engineers. You can set up a penal colony, and you can effectively turn your workers into criminals. You do need extra engineers to staff those areas, though. Yeah, bringing in criminals. What's unique about the criminals is they only eat half as much, and they can't strike. It's great. Technically, you don't need to get the convicts. You can make your own. I'll show you guys how to do that. How you can make your own convicts. Because you can do that. The problem with convicts, though, is They need to be supervised by armed overseers in order to work. If there are not enough armed overseers, they will riot. So that's fun. Actually, no. Out. I gotta get the rest of that wood harvested, and then I'm gonna turn that dock over to coal. Wanted! Suspect in murder! Let's keep him. He's innocent. Alright, the penal colony has been built.
Work day is over. Remember to stow the tools.
Alright, we've got 60 workers available. But our workplace is deadly. We are well ahead of schedule, though. I want to get my coal production back online before we get going again. Alright. Let's go.
Get to your workplaces now.
Alright, let's turn the ventilation on. Let's also go with... Oh, they're on strike. Break it! Back to work. Get back to work. Security outpost, wandering hands. Female worker suspected of stealing factory supplies complains that an overseer subjected her to a thorough body search. Men or older ladies are never suspect. Yeah, I don't want motivation to fall. I can't afford that. Come on, guys, get going. Yeah, let's get a steam core, and when we can, a few extra workers. Fire danger! Small fire broke out. It put out. We could build fire dampeners. Let's do that. We need 5 steel composites to do that. So let's go ahead and build those right away before we get too far. We can now increase the work safety. Alright, we have built the fire dampeners. Good stuff. We're looking pretty good. Gas level is up.
All employees, report for work at once.
Alright. And here's how you can create your own criminals. You can use roundups.
Hear me. New rules in effect.
Yeah, you can create your own. Strike busting without a trace. Strike leader has vanished. Organize a search. Kidnapped him. Oh. Yeah, we'll search. Didn't turn up any traces, but the workers thank you for not giving up. Motivation rises. Ah, glad to hear it. Alright. Ooh, pretty good on the core. Very nice on the core. But now what? Fire! It broke out! Fire broke out in the nearly finished core. Well, we tried to mitigate it. Did our best. Sounds of explosion came in. Fire broke out. Many workers are trapped in there. We can evacuate them, but if the fire is allowed to spread unchecked, it will destroy the core and forever cripple the generator. We could evacuate them, Some workers will be injured, but all progress on the core will be lost. We will have to restart it completely. We could cut off the air supply to make it so the generator has normal quality. If we pick this option, the generator will be prone to malfunctions. However, because we made the fire dampeners, we can use that option. There was a grayed out option, but your workplace has to be safe for that option to be available, so you have to time that pretty precisely if you are going to try and get to that option.
The work shift starts. Move.
Down with the war. A worker's mother that his brother was shot dead during a demonstration. Second year of the Balkan War. We'll let him grieve. For his brother.
Attention all personnel. Work is over for today.
Alright guys, come on, we're almost done. I'm actually going to turn one of the plants off. And turn off safety procedures so that they finish a little bit faster. Alright, we are done with the core. Now we need to assemble the final parts of the generator, the 2 thermal hulls. We're going to turn off the ventilation plant for now. Oh, what's this? Hey, now that the core of the generator is done, we were able to seal the structure. The toxic gases are no longer an issue. Thank goodness. Hate that. But let's go ahead and make some convicts, shall we? Resistance! As overseers for the first time move to round up the troublemakers, some stand in their way. They are free men. You can't just toss them in prison. Round them up! Come on. Hey! Arrested! We now have 30 people that only eat half as much and they can't strike. Epic. Alright. Now we got thermal hulls that we need to make. We need 25 steam exchangers and 10 steel composites for each. So we're gonna go ahead and get the 50 steam exchangers that we need. In total.
To work. Remember
We don't quite have enough steel to do that, but we soon will. And then we'll get those built. Now what? The all-seeing eye. Engineer's here to present his new surveillance concept. With a handful of overseers to monitor the convicts at all times. No. No, that's getting a bit excessive. I'm sorry. That's not gonna work. Alright. Yeah, we really don't need the law book anymore. We're basically good to go. For the rest of the game. Alright, convicts, get to work.
all employees, leave your workplaces in order.
You can order convicts from here. There are a couple of events that happen because of that. Including one event where there are some that are as young as 14 that are being sent as convicts. It's much nicer to just be able to make your own. And then this will tell you if there are enough overseers and security outposts for the number of convicts that are on the map. Alright, first snow. Motivation will fall even more. We're gonna need a massive motivation boost to keep things going.
All personnel, man your workplaces.
Yeah, restock those workers. Strike busting! Disappeared. After making sure nobody can hear you, he confesses to killing the missing strike leader. Start a fight, slips. Buried him in freshly poured concrete under the generator. Strike risk will fall permanently. Workers may disappear from time to time. Punish you! You killed him? Unacceptable. Let's do that.
Workday is over. Remember to stow the tools.
Alright, let's build another penal colony. We are gonna need it. Change of plans! Telegram from London. We're gonna be cut off. The frost is coming sooner than expected. The Royal Meteorological Society warns the sea will freeze in 12 days, stopping shipments in 10. Start stockpiling now. Icebreaker is planned in 18 days. So now we've got a problem. We can now prepare for the cold in the tech tree. Alright, workers, get in there. We need you. Too much oversight. Overseer's watching over the shoulder. Show us you trust us. Get rid of one. Sure, I'll get rid of it. Alright. We still have enough to prevent riots, so we're good.
Attention all personnel. Work is
First
over
convicts!
today.
Workers are upset, gathered by the docks to watch them arrive. Vent their frustration, hurling insults and stones at them. Look at this scum come to steal our jobs. Let them vent. Alright, let's get him in. Alright. Let's get that second thermal hull done. And let's get everybody in there. We are 8 days ahead of schedule. We are doing well. Troublesome council. Visiting arrested workers, reading them about their rights, and encouraging them to ask for a wrath of habeas corpus. If he forwards their petition to a court in London, the judge will order their immediate release. Discourage him. Keep going, guys.
Shift is over. Report to your quarters.
Alright. And because we are done with all the resources that we need, at least primarily, I'm gonna yank those guys out for now. Actually, I need some more coal. I want to stockpile that. Because we're gonna get to the chili stuff later. Suspicious minds! Sending very long letters to Aunt Bertha almost every day. Family and religious matters. Intercept the letters. We can't have that happening here. Alright, in we go.
Workday is over. Remember to stow the tools.
Come on, boys, keep going. Oh, now it's getting chilly. Alright. Starting to get cold outside. Keep working, guys. We gotta keep going. We're almost done with the generator. And then you guys will be good. We are just about done.
All employees, leave your workplaces in order.
Alright, let's pull those guys out. Actually, leave those guys in, because then they can gather what's in there. Come on, Billy! Alright, we are done! The generator is complete! We are looking good.
The generator is operational. It's operational!
Alright. Technically, we could end the game here. This is a completed run of the last autumn. Here it stands shouting into the wind, we will endure. There were three generators planned for the people of Liverpool, but ours is the only one that will serve them. We could stay and upgrade the generator. Shall we do this? This part of the game is optional. If you make the upgrades, it's actually kind of fun, because it influences the end card when the game ends. Like how many people it can save and their chances of survival. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We've got 3 upgrades. In order to raise the capacity of the city protected by the generator, the riser system, overdrive, and the heat vents. We can now see those options in the tech tree. We will need 10 steel composites for the riser system. We will need 25 steam exchangers for overdrive. And we will need 15 steel composites and 20 steam exchangers for the heat vents. We're going to go ahead and queue up the workers to get the steel going again. We're going to make those 25 steel composites. We're going to queue those up. Finish the generator not a moment too soon. There's riots everywhere. Alright.
Report to your workplaces.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some workers in there right away though, so then we can start researching the first upgrade. Oh, our logistical limit is reached. We don't really need anything else, though.
Shift is over.
Alright, now we've got 10. Let's research the riser system. Alright. And so then, how many steam exchangers did we need? We need 45 of them. So we're gonna need lots and lots of steel. We've got the riser system now.
Work immediately.
Now, to get that steel faster, I'm gonna go ahead and research an upgrade called the upgraded docks. We can then have 2 reloading stations active and piles produced instead of 1. Let's just let people talk. Alright, now we can build the upgraded docks. Hey, we're off the hook! Murder investigation! Another suspect confessed. Alright, reloading station. Let's get it down. And because we're doing this, we can get an upgrade to make the docks more efficient as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alright. We need 45 steam exchangers. Yep, now that steel is rolling in really quickly. We are gonna need it. Yeah, let's see if we can get a few extra engineers to do the research. Grab a few more. Oh, but now, because of the motivation drop, now it is low. The efficiency in all workplaces suffers. It is now 30% slower.
The work shift starts. Move.
Yeah, we're gonna get the convicts in there to get the first 25 that we need for the upgrade that we need.
All employees, leave your workplaces in order.
At least we've got the steel going 24/7 so that we have a constant supply coming in. Alright, we got those 9 extra engineers. How did we end up with so many? That's fine. Alright, looks like we need our workers to work 24/7. Our food supply is running low. Alright, engineers. Oh, now it's getting colder. It's really getting chilly now. Alright. Let's get that upgrade. No, we don't quite have them yet.
Get to your workplaces now.
Alright, now we can go for it. We are guarding the docks. Come on. We got work to do, guys. Well, because we've got extra engineers, I'm gonna make a couple of extra tech facilities. Logistical limit is reached again.
Attention all personnel, work is over for today.
Alright guys, come on. Gotta get these upgrades done. It's too bad the workplace motivation has fallen. Because even my research ability is hampered. Literally everything is hampered by the motivation loss.
Report to your workplaces.
Alright. Wait. Oh, I need 25? Come on, get in there and go. I thought I made enough, but I guess I didn't. It's the last orders. Yeah, we don't need any more.
Shift is over. Report to your quarters.
No, we're still not done. Alright, let's go for overdrive.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
Attention! Get to work immediately!
Still got about 4 hours for overdrive.
All employees, leave your work
Alright.
in order.
The icebreakers have arrived. This is when the game technically ends. If you've completed the generator by this point. You technically don't have to go home, but we're gonna go home at this point. Yeah, we are going to leave. Alright. Well, that is the early game guide and walkthrough for The Last Autumn. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the final segment here, where you guys can see how the upgrades and ways that we built the generator affects the game. Okay, so this is how you guys can see how you did affecting the game. So our generator can support 800 people, and they have an average chance of survival. Alright, catch you guys in the next video.